Good evening, bipeds. How are you? Stephen Sashin here, co-founder and chief barefoot officer of Xero Shoes. And this is just a quick video to let you know about something that's starting on Wednesday, the 14th of August, and that is the fall products from Xero Shoes. Shoes and boots that you're going to love. They're going to be 20% off. And I'm just letting you know about them in advance because every time we have one of these product launch sales, we always run out of either a colorway or a size or sometimes an entire style. So I want to let you know about them, and we're here live so you can ask questions about these products. And if you're not watching this live, that's okay. You can just watch this and put your questions below and we'll get to them as soon as we can. If you are watching live, again, you can put your questions like below or wherever it seems obvious to put questions. I will see them there on my screen and I will reply to them as quickly as I can. By the way, quick thing, some people wonder if this is just a public service announcement. It is that, but it's also a sign that I liberated from the Duke University bookstore 40 years ago when I was there. Okay, anyway, let's jump in. So by the way, if you don't know what makes Xero Shoes special, let me just give you that quick little intro to what we're doing, because every time we do one of these product launches, a whole bunch of people who are new to Xero Shoes discover us. So it's really simple. We're here to let your body do what's natural. We're here to let you have natural comfort, performance, and health. How do we do that? Well, first things first, you got to know a few things about your body. A quarter of the bones and joints of your entire body are in your feet and ankles. That's so they can bend and flex and move. That's for balance, agility, and mobility. Secondly, you have more nerve endings in the soles of your feet than anywhere but your fingertips and your lips. That's for telling your brain what you're stepping on or stepping in so it knows how to move you effectively, efficiently, and enjoyably, starting by letting your feet move. If your feet can't do that job, then all that function about balance, agility, mobility, getting signals to your brain, etc., tries unsuccessfully to move upstream into your ankle, your knee, your hip, your back. Those joints are not made for those functions. That's why you can have issues with all of those joints if you're wearing shoes that are not good for you. So our job at Xero Shoes is to give you a product that lets your feet do their job so the rest of your body can do its job. Now, if I was at the office, there'd be about 55 different styles of casual and performance boots, shoes, and sandals behind me. But I woke up at 2 in the morning to get on an airplane to come back from a big footwear trade show where we made a massive splash. And frankly, I'm toast and I couldn't make it out of the house. So what else can I say conceptually? Well, let me just show you a product. And in fact, I'll start with one of our new products. No, wait, I'm going to start with a different one. I'm going to start with a new product for kids. We're going down, we're making more stuff for kids and going down in sizes to be able to handle more kids. So first, I just want to show you a kids version of one of our best-selling shoes. This is the Dylan Canvas slip-on for kids. I make it look really big when I put it near the screen. This is how big it really is. It's kid size. So what makes Xero Shoes special is first a wider foot-shaped toe box. Your toes can spread and relax, do what's natural. When you squeeze your toes together, that's not good. In fact, if you're wearing shoes that have a pointy toe box, just wonder, maybe, ponder, what might it be like at the end of the day when you squeeze a foot-shaped thing called your foot into a non-foot-shaped thing called a typical shoe? I don't need to tell you, you already know. It's why you feel better when you kick off your shoes when you get home. So wider foot-shaped toe box for to let your toes do what they're supposed to do. Low to the ground design for balance and agility. We don't elevate your heel because that messes with your posture. You then have to adjust backwards, starting with either your ankles, your knees, your hips, your back. That can put strain on whichever one of those joints is the weakest link in that chain. What else can I say? The soles of Xero Shoes are designed to give you traction and protection, of course, but also that ground feedback that your brain needs to know how to move your body effectively, efficiently, most importantly, enjoyably. And the soles of all of our Xero Shoes are backed with a 5,000-mile sole warranty. Most of our shoes, except for the kid shoe, or maybe this one, wait, I can't tell, have a removable insole or sock liner. So you keep it in if you want a little more protection, take it out if you want a more barefoot feeling. Oh my gosh, I forgot to show how flexible Xero Shoes are. That's, again, your foot never does this, but that shows that your feet can bend and flex and move. And of course, this is great for travel. And last but not least, Xero Shoes are so lightweight compared to any other shoe that you literally might forget you're wearing them. We've had people email us saying they forgot they were wearing their Xero Shoes and accidentally went to bed with them still on their feet. So that's the gist of what we're up to. And by the way, I don't have every color of every new style that we're launching. So I've got a couple for the kids. So here's two of the, I think, 3 kids colors. Another one is black, black and white, if I'm not mistaken. So really, really fun so your kids can have a slip-on canvas shoe that they can knock around and have a good time in. Okay, I've got, we've only got 4 products that we're launching for this fall. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. let's see, which one do I want to show next? I'm going to show two boots. It's actually one boot for men and women, and it is a style that we've tried before, did okay, but now we have done it way, way better, I would argue, and it's perfect for fall. And that is the Ridgeway Chelsea, and we call it the Ridgeway. I'm going to see if I can surprise you because it's using the same sole as our Ridgeway, our trail waterproof trail hiking boot, and our not waterproof trail walking, hiking approach shoe. So same outsole, but now with a Chelsea style upper. So nice gore here to be able to slip in. Again, super, super flexible. This is I'm trying to read this. It's a full grain leather. It ages well. It's really durable. It's going to look beautiful the older it gets. Again, that lugged sole for great outdoor traction. The gore lets you get in and out of it really easily with that little pull tab right there. And again, lighter weight than anything like this that you've ever seen. In fact, again, that trade show that we were just at, there's a booth right next to ours. They're famous for this kind of shoe. Ours weighed like half as much. So there's a men's and a women's in different colors. I'm just going to show that, different sizes. The women's has a different brown that's really, really cool. There's also a black for men, and I think there might be one other. I think just those two colors, but you're going to love this if you're into this Chelsea style for something that is really super, super comfy and also just gives you a great casual, stylish look. You're going to love the Ridgeway Chelsea. Now, again, a reminder, all this stuff goes on sale on Wednesday, the 14th, and I think the sale runs through the 27th of August. Don't hold me to it because I don't remember. Because again, did I mention I woke up at 2 a.m? My brain is not working. Diggy asked any plans for more Prio colors? Yes. In fact, for kids, we've launched some new Prio colors, and we're going to be launching new Prio colors not for the fall, but definitely coming up in the future. Odd Man in the Sea. Good to see you. Let's get it on. I returned hiking for 6 days with my new Scrambler lows, and they worked amazingly. No foot issues at all. Happy to hear that. By the way, again, everything that I'm showing you is going to be 20% off during the sale. There may be, I don't know yet, there may be an extra bonus you get if you buy more than one style. So if you buy, there's again 4 different shoes, kids and 3 adult shoes. If you buy any 2 or 3 or 4, you might get a little extra bonus. I'm waiting to hear back from our finance team if we can actually pull that off. Okay, so the Ridgeway Chelsea, if you're looking for something that is just casually elegant, you're going to love that boot. Speaking of boots, this next one is just for the ladies, and we're doing it just for the ladies because the men already have a version of this. So the men have the Denver. They've got the canvas version of the Denver, and they have the leather version of the Denver. And we had a lot of women asking for something like that for them. So we have made the Breckenridge. So the Breckenridge, by the way, Dillon is a city in Colorado. Breckenridge is a city in Colorado. So here's the Breckenridge. Again, a beautiful lace-up boot with full grain leather. For just a timeless look. It's got a leather lining as well that is just extra comfortable, and it's going to break in and feel just wonderful. Really cool lacing system. Take a look at how they lace up there. It's just very sleek and cool. And again, this is the same outsole that we're using on the Denver. So a nice grippy lugged tread and everything else that you expect from Xero Shoe. I would fold this one up, except there's a giant thing of paper in here that I forgot to take out, and I got to unlace the whole thing to get my hand in there. So this comes in again, a couple different colors. I've got 2 of them here. Here's the brownish one. I don't know if there's a name for that brown. I don't remember. And of course, black. And there's a really, really cool kind of silvery color that you're going to love when you check out the Breckenridge for ladies. Men, go back and just find the Dillon, which we've had for a while. Diggy, any thoughts about podiatrists? I went to a couple, and not one mentioned strengthening my feet to fix plantar fasciitis, which is the only thing to finally fix it. What I can tell you about medical professionals is they are slow to change their mind because they've made a living saying one thing, and if you tell them that they might be mistaken, I don't know, they don't tend to like that very much. But we actually have a lot of podiatrists who are recommending us all over the place, but yours clearly did not. Regular Dad, do you deliver to mainland China? There was a shop in the past that then left. I love my Xero Shoes and would love to buy more. I don't know, to be honest. That's one of those things, if you look on the video, it'll say questions, support@xeroshoes.com. Drop them an email. They will answer. I don't store the info. There are a couple of countries we don't ship to because we're either not legally allowed to, or because when we tried shipping there, stuff never arrived. It always got taken by customs. So we don't want to make that happen. So drop an email to our customer happiness team, or pick up the phone, or use the phone app on your phone if you don't have a phone that picks up, and give them a shout, and they will have an answer for you. All right. What else? This This is pretty straightforward. I'm not going to keep you on here very long because, again, just 4 simple products. If you're hip to what we're doing, great. If you're not hip to what we're doing, check out more. And 20% off starting on Wednesday, August 14th, running through, I believe, the 27th. By the way, if you're in the UK or the EU, we're doing the product launch sale there starting a little later because due to various ships going to various places, not getting there when we expected, things are arriving a little late. So we're going to announce the date for that sale coming up soon. Okay, last but definitely not least, because what we've done here is we've taken one of our best-selling shoes. Wait, I'm taking the paper out of this one for some reason. We took one of the best-selling shoes. In fact, a shoe that when we launched it in the spring, I believe that's when we did it, couldn't keep it in stock. I mean, just like sold out. Every time we got it back, we tried to order as many as we could, kept selling out. And that is the Dylan. Again, we have the Dylan canvas slip-on. We already have that, and here's the one for kids. But now we've taken the regular Dylan, and we've, again, upgraded that, made it a little classier, made it a little more versatile if you're going to be going out on a date or, going to work or depending on what you do for work. And we just made a leather version of the Dylan. So this is the Dylan Leather. I know, not the most exciting name to just say Dylan Canvas, Dylan Leather, but here it is, the Dylan Leather. So again, it's a full grain white leather. It gives it a really sophisticated look, calfskin lining that feels super, super soft, really fun and playful. It's a look that goes with anything, and now even more upscale. Again, it'll just break in and feel like butter around your foot. You're going to love that. Diggy, is there such a thing as optimized diet for foot health? Not that I'm aware of. Diet is one of those things. There's no one diet for all people is all I can say. I'm going to tell you a fun story. If you don't know Peter Attia, I'm going to show up. I'm going to give a shout out to Peter, who wrote this amazing book called Outlive. Peter's an incredible physician and scientist. And when I met Peter, when I first met Peter, he had come to the conclusion that carbs were evil. And he spent a lot of money with a partner doing some research to prove, in fact, that carbs were evil. And Peter discovered, hey, they're not evil, just didn't work for him. So he's realized that, protein is important. And after that, just kind of see how many carbs you can tolerate because everyone's a little bit different. And when I first met him, I said I was really impressed that he had changed his mind when he had actual data in front of him. And I said, as a sprinter, as a power athlete, we're all kind of carb heavy. And he goes, oh yeah, you guys are always carb heavy. So different strokes, different folks is the best thing I can say. Sadly, that means you have to experiment and see what works for you. But recommend that book. That'll give you some tips about what to do. So again, the leather version of our Dylan, a nice little gum sole on the bottom gives it a great look as you're walking and people are behind you, which they'll be behind you because you'll be walking faster now that you have something super lightweight and comfy on your feet. And again, like I mentioned, removable insole or sock liner, keep it in for a little more protection, take it out if you want a more barefoot feel. You can wear Xero shoes in bare feet. You can wear them with socks. You can wear them with or without the insole or the sock liner. Totally up to you. So these are the 4 products that we're launching for the fall of 24. The Dylan Leather, the Breckenridge for women, the Chelsea boot, the Ridgeway Chelsea for men and women. By the way, the Dylan is for men and women. And then, of course, the kids Dylan Canvas slip-on. Rick says, how much room should you leave in front of the toes for a perfect fit? Totally personal preference. It's not about a perfect fit. So let me tell you about that. This is an interesting bit of footwear folklore and mythology. So the whole idea of how much room you need in front of your toes, many people hear your toes like you need this much or whatever it is they've heard. It's because if you're wearing a shoe, like a traditional shoe, and I don't have one anywhere near me, with a thick midsole, when it bends, I'm going to grab a book. When it bends like a thick book. It bends faster on the inside than the outside. It's hard to see there. Think phone book, if you remember what a phone book looks like. And so if you're wearing a normal shoe with a big, thick midsole, it effectively gets shorter on the inside as you walk or run. Well, since we don't have a big, thick midsole, this, by the way, is a cup sole. It just kind of wraps around. It's actually much thinner than it looks. Then you're not having that same shortening effect the way you see it. So it's just how it fits for you. So I like keeping my toes pretty close to the edge. Don't know why. Sometimes it's just a reminder, time to trim my toenails. And as a sprinter, I just don't want anything that would be, too far in front. Just doesn't feel right to me. But some people like a little more space in front of their toes. Some people find that they've been buying shoes, if they're buying normal shoes, they've been buying wider shoes because their foot is wider, or they've been buying bigger shoes because their foot is wider, and they come down in size when they're in Xero shoes because they don't need to, they're not squeezing their toes together otherwise. But the bottom line is, this is one of the reasons we do free domestic exchanges, is on the website, you'll see recommendations that'll say something like, order your usual size. And we say that because we've gotten a lot of customer feedback where people say, I ordered my usual size and it's fine. Not perfect for everyone. Some are going to go up, some are going to go down because, again, personal preference. But that's why we do free exchanges, so we can get you the size that fits you and feels best for you. Diggy Digi, any thoughts about Born to Run by Chris McDougall? It's the book that started it all. If you don't know, Born to Run, back in 2009, is about the Tarahumara Indians in Mexico and how, they came to Colorado and ran the highest ultramarathon in the world, the Leadville 100, crushed it the first year wearing just their sandals, their Huarache sandals. The second year, they were sponsored by a normal shoe company. And after a couple of miles, they went, this isn't going to work. And they threw them off and they finished and won the race barefoot. So they do a lot of running down in the Copper Canyon in Mexico, healthy in their 60s and 70s. And that was an inspiration for Chris, who wrote the book, who, wanted to run, but is a big, heavy guy, not fat, just he's a really big guy and weighs a lot. And just, it was always really painful. And with his coach, Eric Orton, learned how to run properly. And then a number of people put on a race, an ultramarathon down in the Copper Canyon in Mexico. The book is about that. The book is about Chris's journey. The book is about the science of natural movement. It's, even if you're not a runner, it's an amazing book. My wife, Lena, not a runner, could not put it down. And in fact, I tease Chris, we're friends. We're friends. I'll say more about that in a second. B, I tease him that when the book first came out, that was our unofficial marketing department. He's out doing book signings. Every time he did a book signing, we would get more people coming to us to buy. Then we only had our do-it-yourself sandal making kit, inspired by the Huarache sandals that the Tarahumara wear. And lately, if you go on our website, you'll find Chris and his running coach, Eric Orton, wrote Born to Run 2, the ultimate, get the hiccups all of a sudden, the ultimate training guide, which it is. It is not only about running, it is about walking, it is about living, it is about food and diet, inspired by the Tarahumara. And it's an amazing book. It's also a beautiful book. And Chris and Eric have never endorsed a brand or even a shoe up until right before they published the book. They reached out and said, if you want to send us some shoes, if we like them, we'll put them in the book. And then they called and said, we want to partner with you. We love these. It's the only thing we want to wear. And so we have a Born to Run version of our Zelen, which is one of their favorite shoes, and our Mesa Trail. So it's in Born to Run colors, co-branded with Xero Shoes and Born to Run. So any other books? Oh boy, there are a bunch. Barefoot Running by Michael Sandler was how we started this business, because I was barefoot running with Michael Sandler and making sandals for all the barefoot runners in and around Boulder. And Michael said to me one day, I've got this book coming out, and if you had a website for this little sandal making hobby of yours, I'd put you in the book. And I rushed home and I pitched this idea to my wife, Lena, because I've been an internet marketer for a long time. I built hundreds and hundreds of websites. So I told her this is an incredible opportunity. She told me I was a complete bonehead and don't do it. It won't make any money and it won't work. And so I told her that I wouldn't. And then she went to bed and I did. And that's how Xero Shoes started almost 15 years ago. And here we are now with over, I think, 2 million people who have purchased a pair of Xero Shoes and discovered the comfort, the benefits, and the fun of natural movement in Xero Shoes. So that's a good book. I think Barefoot Running Step by Step by Barefoot Ken Bob Saxton. God, there's a bunch of others. And if I was at the office, I'd literally reach over to the library we have and grab a handful. But if you just search for Barefoot Running on Amazon, you'll find a bunch, and I'm sure you can't go wrong. Sexy Lamb, Chelsea, good for urban snow. I don't see why not. Keep in mind, this is an elastic layer, so it's not waterproof, and it is might want to protect it and clean it if you're dealing with snow. If you're really dealing with snow, you might want to consider our Alpine boot, our best-selling fully waterproof snow boot, or any of the other actual waterproof things like the Excursion Fusion or the Ridgeway, or I know I'm forgetting one because I don't have one here. Oh, the Scrambler 2 waterproof. Those are all great shoes. Rick says, thanks. I say you're welcome. HZ, any plans to make wider versions of the most popular shoes? Maybe. Don't know. Leave that as a suggestion at xeroshoes.com/feedback. Include a picture of your foot next to whatever shoe you're talking about so we can see what's going on. It's the best thing I can say there. Okay. Again, I don't want to keep you too long because, I don't know about you, but here in Colorado, it's still early. The sun is out. It is beautiful. And I have to go pick up my dog from doggy daycare where he spent the day to burn off some steam because he is super high energy. And I was out of town where I couldn't take him for a run. All right. So one more time, starting on Wednesday, the 14th, the sale of our new fall line, 20% off, maybe a little more if you buy more than one of these styles. The Dylan leather, the kids Dylan canvas slip-on, the the Breckenridge for women, and the Chelsea boots, by the way, the Dylan again for men and women, and the Ridgeway Chelsea for men and women. And again, there are other colors that you'll find when you go to the website. By the way, like I said, we are no doubt going to run out of certain sizes and colors like we always do. If you want a reminder that the sale is going to happen on Wednesday, go to xeroshoes.com/newsletter and opt in, put in your email address, and we will send you a newsletter the moment the sale goes live. So I highly recommend doing that. Andrew, I'm going to be using a review. I'm using a review of the Scrambler Mid that I recently received. Can't wait to hear it. Make sure you send us a link. Okay, so let's wrap it up. I just want to thank you all. Just as a quick thing that I say at the end of every one of these calls, A, it's awfully fun. I appreciate you joining me. B, Lena and I and the rest of the Xero Shoes team, both in the US and in Europe, could not be more grateful for having you guys here. I think it was like 75% of the people that we surveyed said that at some point someone stopped them to say, "Hey, what are you wearing?" And something like 60% had people stop them to say, "Hey, are those Xero shoes? I saw them on Shark Tank." And like 50 something percent said they'd bump into somebody else wearing Xero shoes. I just had that happen. I was actually in the Denver airport heading to Atlanta on Friday, and I'm in the United Lounge, and there's a guy sitting on the other side of a table from me. He's on his laptop, and then he looks up at me and he's like, "What the?" And he turns his laptop around. He goes, "This is you." He was watching one of my videos. So super, super happy that you guys are here. Thank you for being willing to talk to the strangers who stop you on the street or to have a chat with the people who are also wearing Xero shoes. I'm still waiting for two people to meet who are both wearing Xero shoes who end up getting married. That's my current fantasy. Okay, a couple of last things. Oh, don't worry about the autocorrect. I figured it out. Outdoor Geekery, any discount on regular stock shoes? No, not for this. When we do a product launch, we're just discounting the products that we're launching so we can get them onto a bunch of people's feet as fast as possible so they can spread the word. I will give you a hint that for us, how do I want to put this? Black Friday might start really early. It's a whole, can't say any more than that. But as people may know, if they've been with me on these calls, I'm not good at keeping secrets. So let's just leave it at that for now. But we're not going to have these at any higher discount than you're going to find during the launch sale. So 20% off, maybe a tiny bit more if you buy more than one style. I don't know yet. We'll announce that in the newsletter. Andrew, my son's swim coach, wears Xero shoes and Xero sandals. You know who else does? The women's artistic swimming team. Sadly, they couldn't wear the shoes that we made for them just for the Olympics when they were at the Olympics because somebody paid a bunch of money to be able to have people in certain uniforms, but they were wearing them a bunch. And so, we're super, super proud because we've been giving them shoes because they want their feet to be flexible and strong. And they think that they can do that in Xero shoes. So we made shoes just for them. All right. Thank you again. Go to xeroshoes.com starting on the 14th to pick up these new styles. If you have any questions, go to send an email to xeroshoes.com/ Jesus, I can do it. Send an email to support@xeroshoes.com or use the phone app on your phone and give them a call. If you have any feedback or suggestions, leave that at xeroshoes.com/feedback. And until next time, I can't wait to hear what happens when you pick up a pair of these new shoes or any of the shoes, boots, and sandals, over 55 styles that we have.